Hello, hey.
How are we doing?
I'm all right. How are you getting on?
It's a lovely evening here in Mallaig.
In Mallaig, yeah, you're up there tonight. Yeah, now. First of all, a big congratulations to yourself and Fiona. You tied the knot yesterday.
Thank you. We did that.
So, a good day. Brilliant.
It was a lovely day, yeah.
We shall talk about this as we go along, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We've been off for a couple of weeks, but we are back.
Aye.
We are back. And please share it about.
How's the waterworks now, Peter?
What waterworks?
Well, there's the waterworks now. Didn't 2 weeks ago. That's why we weren't on.
Oh, the kidney stones. Yeah, the kidney stones, one of them's gone. Only another 19 to go. So there we go.
Oh dear.
So at least
was that you that popped that noise?
Yeah, no, that was Grace.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's all been happening. It's all been happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Please share it about for us. As I said, Davie is on his honeymoon. Is that dedication for you the day after he's got married? So absolutely fantastic. So what I would quickly like to say, well, we're going to say for all of you folk watching this back, because apparently there's been a football game on. Yeah. So anything to say about it? Or?
Aye, so we'll do two takes just in case, depends on what's watching.
Oh, right.
So take one. Oh, that was an awful result for Italy, wasn't it? All that diving. Oh, not good.
Terrible. Yeah, no. And I think they should have done better. They should have done better.
Yeah. And let's do take two. So that was an awful result for England. All that diving, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely terrible.
Sorry.
England, the only team that couldn't score against Scotland. Amazing.
I know.
Somebody's put I scored already. Didn't he start blowing the score?
Oh, did oh dear. Jeez,
There we go. So, anyway, listen, it was a big day for you. So we'll gear up on the football tonight. Hopefully you can watch the show back later on, folks, and see what is going on. We've got two fantastic guests for you tonight. We've got Uli McLeod for Pete and Diesel, and we have Michael Biggins. Michael was BBC Young Traditional Musician of the Year this year. So, fantastic musicians for you tonight. Fantastic crack. Boys that know things. Thanks for sharing about folks. The numbers are going up all the time. That's fantastic. Right, Davey, back to you. Did you have a good day yesterday? Yeah.
I did. Enjoyed it all. It was really good. With the weather actually made an appearance about 10 minutes before we started. So we moved everything that was indoors outdoors, and like delayed by about 15 minutes, but they managed to kind of change everything around quite simply for us. So we got an outdoor wedding, which is what Fiona wanted in the end. So yeah,
absolutely magic. And now you're on honeymoon, and you're in Malig tonight, and you're going to do a bit of touring up the west coast, and then end up on the north coast.
Yep. So going to Skye tomorrow, then over to Uist, up to Uli's home in Stornoway, and then up to Orkney. So yeah,
brilliant.
It'll be good.
That'll be good fun. Good fun. So, right, folks, a bit of music for you tonight. I've got a couple of tunes here, a couple of 6/8 marches that I recorded earlier, just as the rain was coming on outside, but we managed. It's authentic. And the first one's a brand new tune that I just wrote this morning. And it's a tune called Davie and Fiona Hunter's Wedding. I don't know if you've actually got a tune written about it already, but if you have, we'll write it.
No.
So we'd have loved to have been there and seen you on the wedding day, but we couldn't. So here's a wee tune for you. So the first 6/8 is Davie and Fiona's Hunter's Wedding. And the second tune I'm playing with that tonight is the Blue Bonnets Are the Border, because it's just an old favourite of mine. So here you are. Here's a wee tune. Congratulations, Rupert. All the best for the future. Aha! There you go. All the best.
It's a cracking tune. It's a cracking tune.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you. Is that us even now? 1-1.
1-0. 1-0 now. Yeah, but Jim Gray says I can't watch football. Thank goodness, guys, you're here. So, but that's it. Anyway, I wanted to put up first to mention the wedding because the tune you're going to play tonight is a tune that you wrote that I'll let you speak to the folk about and tell them what this was for as well.
Yeah. Yes. So as part of the ceremony, I decided we didn't know if we were going to be able to do it indoors or outdoors. So instead of getting someone playing live, we just pre-recorded everything. So it kind of worked either way. So Fiona came down the aisle to an Ed Sheeran song, and then during the signing, the incidental music is a tune that I composed called An Ros Shuri, which translates from the Gaelic of the Eternal Rose. And so I wrote that. I played it on whistle and electric uilleann pipes, and I got yourself to play accordion on it.
Yep.
And I was lucky enough to get the great Ali Hutton to mix it for us and kind of add some bass and some keys. So it turned out really well. So this video is essentially just the logo kind of spinning round because I didn't have much time after we finished the recording.
That's all right. The other thing I was
videoed, but I do plan on getting something put together and sorted.
Yeah. What I was going to ask you about was, obviously we saw a bit of the ceremony online yesterday, and you seemed to give Fiona a great big drink. You gave her a big drink at one point, and then you had a big drink or something. I've never seen that.
We did the exchange in the craic.
Ah, I see.
You never seen it before? That's an old tradition, yeah.
Ah, so you weren't trying to get her drunk then?
But, yeah. No, she was drinking water from her home village of Ladybank in Fife, and I was drinking a 35-year-old single malt. So,
just to balance up. Anyway, let's have a wee listen to this tune. It's a right bonny wee tune that you wrote for the register signing. Lovely, here it is.
Thank you.
Lovely bit of music, Davey. Very, very atmospheric.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very nice. There was
a few folks said that yesterday as well. It was.
David Borthwick saying, "Say hello to the Kraken." I think you said. I think you. Oh, did you? Davey went up.
Find it first.
Davey went up with fish lorries in the 70s. Do you know? I wrote a tune. I think it's in one of my books called "The Joe Carriageway to Malik," and it was a hint on sarcasm because whenever you went to play there, you always got stuck in a fish lorry going up the road, and it seemed to take twice as long. And by the time you got there, you smelled like a kipper. It was never great, you know. It was great. But anyway, fantastic.
We were stuck behind a caravan today.
It happens. But anyway, it's a bonny part of the world, so that's the thing. So anyway, listen, we've got a couple of great guests for the folks tonight. So this first guest that we've got on is a drummer with this band that has taken the UK by storm just now. By storm. And the Western Isles, they're bigger than Elvis. It's amazing. It's just incredible.
Bigger than the other guy with the beard, no?
Bigger than the other guy with the beard. Anyway, as a wee introduction,
long hair, beard.
We've got Uli McLeod coming on in a wee while. We've got a wee introduction here for you all about Pete and Diesel. And I can't wait to get on after this for a blether and see how it all started. So here you go. This is your first guest coming up.
And why Pete and Diesel are selling out fast all over Scotland. Good evening, I'm Norman MacLeod, and this is the STV News at 6, live from Abbey. Now, songs about Pete, sheep and potatoes aren't normally the recognised path to rock stardom, but three lads from the Western Isles are selling out wherever they go and have become a worldwide internet sensation. Pete and Diesel say they just sing about what they know, even if it's just dogs in the window and cats on the floor. But as Colin White reports, the audiences are lapping it up.
Well, the dog is on the window, the cat is on the floor. Everyone is having a party on the moor. They're up all night until their feet get wet. Wake up in the morning and their head is in a mess.
It isn't exactly Bob Dylan, but Pete and Diesel just sing it how it is. That's the way we do it in the Western Isles has been seen hundreds of thousands of times online. The band is attracting a huge following. They call it Beatlemania.
I just never expected them to become this enormous all over the world.
They're nice and friendly and they seem like nice guys and the music's really good and catchy.
Pete and Diesel played the recent Heb Celt Festival in Stornoway. Not since Runrig has a Gaelic band made such a huge international impact.
I think they've got more than just music ability today. They're real entertainers, and that's why they're so successful.
A year ago, the band was playing in local pubs. Now they're at Belladrum on Saturday, and their gig at the Barrowlands in Glasgow in January next year sold out in minutes.
Thank you.
Autographs and selfies are a daily occurrence.
It's gone wild. That's the only thing I can really say because I didn't expect any of it.
The boys all still have full-time jobs. Innes is an electrician, Boydie a fisherman, and Willie a delivery driver. The fans love them.
Well, I like how they play the guitar. I really want to get an electrical one.
What they're doing is they love performing because it gives joy to us and to everyone else who loves them.
We love Pete and Diesel!
The band's new album, Light My Fire, will be out in the new year, and they've just announced a Scottish tour.
The following keeps getting bigger and bigger, and no, we're loving it every second. As long as the people are enjoying the music, we'll be enjoying it, we'll keep playing.
So look out, Beatlemania could be somewhere near you very soon. Colin White, STV News.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring him on. Willie McLeod, come on, Willie, are you there? Hello, sir. Oh, we're brilliant. How are you getting on?
Yeah, not bad. I always laugh at the end of that video when I fall off the stool. That was not planned, and I think I was actually sitting on a wee oil drum at the time, and it just absolutely collapsed underneath me. So, yeah. How are we?
I want to play that wee clip to begin with tonight because it kind of sums up Pete and Diesel really, and it's really Norman kind of puts it. Could be singing about anything. It's not Dylan, he said, but it could be anything. And I think that's the whole fun thing of Pete and Diesel, isn't it? It's real. It's just what you are, and it's going down great. You're fairly built up now. How long's the band been on the go
now? Well, just over 2 years now, since we put Pete and Diesel together. Yeah, it's been some ride. Obviously, could have been a lot better over the last year. You know, we were kind of we had hit the top of a crest of a wave, and it came crashing down before our eyes. And it just shows you in life, you never know what's around the corner. Yeah, things were going really, really well. We were just on the back of a UK tour, the UK tour that we were talking about in that video. We had sold out all our venues, played the Barrowlands to a fantastic crowd, and I think it really actually hits you when you play the likes of the Barrowlands and there's 2,000 fans, and they're not there to see support bands, or they're not there to see like festival acts who have 10 different acts. These are pure people who have bought tickets to see Pete and Diesel. And that was a very emotional night, but it was very, very moving, and I can't describe it if you haven't played the Barrowlands. It's absolutely it's a haunting venue and great atmosphere. Yeah,
it's an amazing rise quickly for a band, and it just took off, and it's just been fantastic. And it's got this feel good factor about it. The whole thing's got a feel good factor that it's just brilliant. It's got that West Coast humour. It's got the music in it, everything. And you guys working as a trio all the time. That's quite a big job when you take on the Barrowlands and you're just a trio.
It's a hard space to fill, especially when you're playing alongside bands. Just taking, for example, the likes of Manran, who are a 6-piece band, and they have got a kind of a full backline. It's hard for me, especially at the backline, to try and give you that kind of feel of bass from the back. You'll know yourself what I'm talking about. But Innes fortunately is a wizard on his left hand as well as his right. So he's got MIDI bass, and it works wonders. Brilliant. And gives you the bottom end. So yeah, it's like you were talking about there, how quickly it rose. I'll tell you how quickly it rose. We were practicing the first time we ever kind of met with each other, out with our other bands. Of course, we had obviously previously met, and we were friends beforehand. But when we first met, we had, I think it was 2 practices. We were going to play a gig in the Lewis Bar, our local, well, Boydie's local, which spends most of his time. We had a gig booked in there, and that was, I think, Heb Celt weekend. And then within a week, the festival in Uist, Eilean Festival, EDF, as it's known, were in touch with us and say, look, we need you. We've got a slot for you on this stage. Come down and play. And we were like, we've had like 2 practices. We've hardly got any material. We don't know what we're doing. And Boydie's like, I've never played to more than 50 people in a pub. You know, it was very daunting. Innes, of course, had his time with Face the West, who are another Hebridean kind of Woolstone band, and they were very, very, very big here. So yeah, as Gregor's saying there in the comments, that Beatlemaniac was kind of born then, and this is where it all came from and stemmed from. I remember, I think it was Goldstone Shave. It was a Goldstone Shave that were playing the other tent, and everybody flocked over when we started playing. And they were saying the main stage was nearly empty. I do apologise, guys, if you are watching. But yeah, from there it was booking
at the end of the day, the goats should shave, shouldn't they? That's really it. That's what it comes down to. So But the thing was, so I take it were you all in different kind of musical genre backgrounds then before? Were you doing different things, or were you? Because
yeah, well, so basically, drums isn't even my first instrument. My first instrument was guitar through primary school. I grew up doing classical guitar with Noel Eady. He was the guitar player with Nahokini, and he was our tutor in school as well for some time. And it was, classical guitar was quite hard, and it was always like something my parents encouraged me to do. And I loved it. I did love it. But then it started getting harder and harder, and I'm one of these people that when things get harder, I just scrap it, just give it up. And all my family would say, when you've got ear for something, you'll be able to take it on and do it. And that's kind of like, I was in the pipe band from a young age, grew up on snare drum, then started attending the accordion and fiddle club here in Stornoway. Loved it, absolutely loved accordion music, playing with friends as well. And then from there, I studied traditional music and sound production in college, doing an NC. Again, didn't really last after that. I kind of went out and did my own thing, started a white van job, and we had bands, various bands. I was playing with a band. I was a frontman and singer with them for a while. And then I decided that Innes was starting up a band with Ross McRae, and Innes asked me did I want to become the drummer of the band. And we're basically a wedding band playing the Western Isles. But we went across to likes of Durness Hall and Hootenannies and Inverness, and just having a big crack. And that's actually where Boydie comes into the equation, because one of our guitarists left and Boydie was available at the time, came, played with us, and you get to a certain stage. I think we were going for 7 years, and you're playing the same songs every weekend, and it's just drags and drags. Bad Moon Rising and all that carry on, and we were just we came to an end, basically, like all bands do at one point. And Boydie was kind of bored, and he said, "How about we just get a jam together?" It wasn't even a band; it was just get a jam together, and we got together in the house and started playing. And like Boydie had already had a catalogue of songs from growing up. He's always been writing, but he's one of these guys you can't force to write. So he'll basically just he'll have something, and then maybe he won't have anything for another 3-4 weeks, and then something else will come into his head, and then he'll write it down. And so that's basically how Beatlemania was born. Pretty mad when you think back. Yeah, it's pretty mad.
Yeah. Brilliant, though. Brilliant. I think we'll have we've got a couple of tracks here for you. We've got Dirty Old Town. Dirty Old Town, that was the Ewan McCall wrote that, didn't he? Am I right?
Yeah, he did.
And then the Pogues done it, and then and now Pete and Diesel's made it famous. So where was this one? Where was this recording at?
I think it's the Battlelands recording, if I'm right.
It's the Battlelands one.
So, this is a special one.
Yeah, enjoy, folks. Here's Dirty Old Town.
By the that night. Dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town. By the gaswork wall, I dream to dream by the old canal. I kiss my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I met my love by the factory wall. One with the gaswork, dream to dream about the factory walls. I kiss my girl about the factory walls. Dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
That was great.
It's just a bit different than playing in the Lewis Bar, isn't it?
Aye, just a wee bit, aye.
And what was Boydie's thought on it, or did they enjoy it?
I don't know if he enjoyed it. I don't think he really had the chance to enjoy it. I think he was he's very nervous when he's on stage anyway, at the best of times, but I think he did settle down as the night went on, but as you can tell from our live album, everything is 100 mile an hour, bang, bang, bang. When I listen back to it, I actually, oh no. Everything's just laughing. It's like a train now. She keeps going right the way through. But like on big nights like that, adrenaline always is going to get the better of you. Yeah,
great atmosphere though. Great party.
Yeah, the atmosphere, man. I was even getting like hairs on the end of my hands there just listening back to that. It's yeah, phenomenal. So good.
I saw you. Sorry, Davie, on you go.
They do say that the Badlands are a very special venue for everyone that kind of plays there.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, 100%. I think.
What some folk don't realise, it's also a spring dance floor as well, isn't it? Still.
Yeah, it's all springboard on the bottom on the main dance floor, which is pretty cool. I don't know how it feels like when you've had a few drams, but yeah, no, the crowd was phenomenal, and it's just a very it'll always be a special place for us.
Yeah.
So
you're hoping to get the band back on the road, hopefully for too long. I think you've got an October tour, have you? Kind of lined up?
Yeah, we're pretty much October, November. We'll do our Scottish and UK tour again. Basically, we're going. We'll be doing bigger venues, the likes of Aberdeen. We were doing the Lemon Tree before. This time we're doing the Music Hall.
Wow, that's a big jump, isn't it?
Yeah, it just shows you that this is the kind of that the agents and all that had to think about where we were going to go next time, because the whole tour sold out last time pretty sharpish, and there was a lot of people disappointed. This time we're going to do 2 nights at the Barrowlands, Thursday, Friday. I think they were pretty close to both being sold out, if they're not sold out already. I'm sure Ines will correct me on that, but I think the tour was slowly starting to sell out again, which was good to see. Yeah, we're back on the road. I think just a month this weekend. Yeah, I think so. We're playing Hampshire, Wickham Festival, alongside the likes of the Waterboys, Manran, a few other bands, Talisk.
Cool.
Really, really good bands, and apparently it's a great festival. I've kind of never been down to that area, so I'm really looking forward to that. I think just a gig, it's just been such a long slog for all of us, not just Pete and Diesel, but every band, every entertainer, musician, every kind of arts performer out there. It's been a long, like, if it wasn't for Peter and Martin at Tunes in the House, it would have been a very, very bleak time, because I have to thank him for that, because it's like it was an absolute godsend for a lot of people. And we'd all be chasing Sunday night, waiting to get on so we could be the first to get onto a set, and it just and even when you didn't get on, you got a good chance of listening to some great artists. And I hope when all this is over, well, not over, but as long as we get back to normality, the people will go out and support gigs, support musicians, accordion and fiddle clubs, everything. Life's too short, guys. We need to go out and support music, because we've been in a long pandemic now. Like, this has made everybody see just how important music is and performing is to everybody. I think everybody's missing the gigs. I don't think it's just us. I think all the Joe public. Yeah,
I think one of the things Martin and I spoke about as well with the Tunes in the House was, hopefully, as things open up, will be a massive Tunes in the House festival. That's what we're hoping to do sometime.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal.
A weekend, and if you can get as many people, because there's about 900 musicians have taken part in that now or something. It's going to have to be some size of venue if everybody turns up.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that's something you should be.
But just as a kickstart back to live music, just what you're saying as well, and I think also that now we've got a place for internet entertainment that we've not found yet either.
Oh yeah.
And I could see the two working hand in hand together, to be honest. Because we've found some people. There is still people that can't get to venues and can't get out to gigs out there and things, and it's been a godsend for them that they in a way they've been isolated before they had to isolate, kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
So it's nice. I noticed Innes has got a new accordion now, I think, hasn't he? Because that one there was because I think he got it from Tom Craic. Tom's the squeeze box shop at Bewley, and I play quite a few of Tom's boxes on the show from time to time as well. because he comes up and down and drops me a new one every so often to have a wee play about it. It's really nice.
He's basically the one you've seen in the first video, and the Barrowlands one is the one with the Saltire. He got that made by Alessandrini. He's with Alessandrini again, but it was actually his son Robbie who picked all the colours. So if you've seen his new box, it's like a rainbow. It's full of like orange, purple.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah,
it's almost like it's almost like he's opened the colour catalogue and went. Oh, didn't make it like that.
I actually think that's what Robbie did. Yeah.
Similar thing to putting diesel in water, isn't it? You just get that extra colours.
Yeah, it's authentic. It's authentic, that's for sure.
Obviously, all you guys are still got day jobs as well. You've got Trish and a fisherman and yourself driving the van about, delivering stuff.
Yeah, well, I've just basically decided that I'm going to be going full time with Pete and Diesel in 5 weeks' time. So yeah. Interesting times ahead. Big decision on my own behalf, but we have spoken about it, myself and Innes and the band, and we've just things are going to get busier and busier, I think, as things open up. So I'm scared but buzzing at the same time. I think it's going to be a good decision. Like we say, we don't want to be sitting there when we're 50 or 60 years of age and regretting that we didn't do it. What if? What have you done this? What have you done that? No, forget that.
The thing about being full time is you have to be available. You have to be able to go
all the time. Yeah, and the thing is, you can't commit to both. And you can't give it all to 2 jobs. So you've got to give one job your all. And I think Pete and Diesel, it's not going to be around forever. So it's time to give it my all, I think.
And then, of course, you're quite busy with the radio station as well as that, aren't you, with Isles?
With Isles FM. Yeah, I've again, like Tunes in the House, another godsend for me. Isles FM is just a local community radio station, solely based on volunteers and basically advertising. And the advertising isn't really there, so the station's been struggling, not just with presenters, but money coming in the door. So over the last 14-15 months, like I said, like Martin and Peter's Tunes in the House, it's been absolutely vital to me in going forward, and it's given me something to focus on and be busy with, which I absolutely loved. I've got a Friday night slot at 9 o'clock, which is a Rock and Kelly show. It's a request show basically, and just basically an eclectic mix of everything from Scottish, Irish, country and oldies, and just music I love listening to, but also it's mostly to do with the listeners. It's listening interactions with all our listeners, which is quite good. And I get to hear new music, and they get to hear some stuff they probably wouldn't hear too. So it's a great hobby to have. Absolutely great hobby to have.
So that's online as well then. So anybody can get that by anywhere then.
Yeah. You've seen the link there. It's www.islesfm.com. Across the world. And we get some, like yourselves, you're surprised every week when you do a new show. There's listeners everywhere across the States and Australia, Germany. Just, it's so good to see it, and a real buzz. And it makes you keep wanting to do it, when people are interacting with you. So, come and have a listen with us on Friday nights, anytime.
And all the best to you with the going full time. I'm sure you've got nothing to worry about. I wouldn't say nothing to worry about.
Thank you very much.
I bet you'll get some crack on the road with Boydie and Annie. So I would imagine there'll be some crack.
Yeah, it's kind of he's very hard. Sometimes you have to keep him on a leash, a very tight leash. I remember we were playing, I think it was Inverness, we were playing the Gathering Festival. I don't know if you've ever heard about the festival we had there. We were put into a small tent. Don't know whose idea that was, but anyway. The crowds gathered in and basically was jammed, and then they put a stop to it within I think it was the 3rd song. They just pulled the plug on the gig because they couldn't cope. And if they had just opened the sides or something, you know, we could have got more in. But you know, the place was absolute carnage. Drinks were just getting thrown in the air, and I'll not mention any names, but I'm actually very friendly with one of the boys that were involved with that. Yeah, but it was a fantastic gig. But Boydie during the day, we went out for lunch, and I remember we were sitting in the filling station across the road there at the taxi rank, and this boy with boots comes pounding up the other side of the road, and he was just going round in circles, like round the square and back round again. Who was it but Boydie? He was just so, I don't know if it was nerves or just didn't know what to do. He was just going round the square, round and round, smoking fags for about 2 hours. Oh, he's something else. Like,
that's showbiz.
Oh, he's a character. He's a great character, and I think that's why we all work well together, because
yeah,
we're good friends.
There seems to be a dynamic there. Yeah.
Oh, it's a good bond. Yeah, no, it is a good bond, and
and you've all got your own characters. I think that's a good thing too, and that everybody's kind of. And the thing is, not knowing what's coming next for you is always a great surprise as well. It's brilliant.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
What I did see was.
Sorry.
What I did see is you've been working with a good friend of mine, Gary Robertson, as well, and from Dundee.
Yes, Gary. Gary's barking mad.
Well.
He won't mind me saying that, because he admits he's barking mad himself. Yeah, Gary actually, we met in Dundee at Fat Sam's. Again, it's a gig that ranks in probably the top 3 of the ones we did on the last Scottish tour, and we became friends with Gary. And he's there. He's there every Friday night on one of my shows, and he's always listening to Isles FM, plugging Pete and Diesel. He's one of the Petermania crew. He's one of the head honchos now. He's up there with the managers and all that. But no, I came up to Stornoway recently, and you know, we've got a good group
I've seen
of
the
friends.
video.
He had an amazing time. You know, some nights better than others, and he fell asleep at the side of the road all night, which was just madness. He climbed the highest hill in the Western Isles, and I think it's one of the highest in Scotland, the Cleasham, actually. I can't mind where it ranks, but it's one of the highest. But yeah, he had a fantastic time, and just like one of life's gentlemen, but he comes across a bit bonkers. But he's one of the good guys.
Gary's good crack.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got another track here to hear for you before you go. Tell us a wee bit about this one, The Island. Is this one of Boydie's songs then?
Island, yeah. So basically, Island was written for Light My Buyer, which was our second studio album. That came out just before we played the Badlands. I think it was January 2020. Oh, you know this. I can't even remember what year it is. Yeah, so it would have been the January before the Badlands. The album came out. Island's basically just a track that people can relate to, like most of our songs. Just written about different islands across the West Coast, and we knew, myself and Innes, when we heard him practicing it, and he gave us our first rendition on the acoustic. He said, "This is going to be a P&D anthem," and you know, we played the Badlands that night, and the Badlands at the end of the month. And Innes basically jokingly said, "You wouldn't know this one. This is pretty much new off our album, Like My Buyer. Sing along if you do know a couple of the words." And basically, when Boydie starts the chorus, the whole crowd, just a wave of singing back to us, and it was just like, whoa! You know, you weren't expecting it, because it was only online for a couple of weeks, you know, and it's just amazing. People took it and made it their own, and you know, we get a lot of messages from people saying when they're driving about on the West Coast and the Highlands and that, they love putting it on because it just fits with a picture of the Highlands, and it's even people away on the mainland and across the water in Glasgow, Aberdeen, and even farther seas. Basically, they say, you know, it reminds them of home, and they listen to it quite a lot just to take them back to the island. And so this is probably one of our favourites as well.
Brilliant. Let's have a listen. Island.
or is it the hills of Harris? Are you from the north or US, or is it the Isle of Skye? Are you from the Isle of Barra, Egmont, from Orcana? Are you from the Rocky Waters or the Hebrides? Oh, this is my island, oh, this is my island, from the port on Nice right through the Mission till the end of time. Oh, this is my island, oh, this is my island. We feed the sheep and cut the beef until the day we die. Sound of Muller, could it be Tyree? Are you from Old Skerryvore, or is it the O'Manor Store? Are you from the Rocky Waters or the Hebrides? Oh, this is my island, oh, this is my island, from the port on Nice right through the Mission till the end of time. Oh, this is my island, oh, this is my island. We feed the sheep and cut the beef until the day we die. The hills of Harris. Are you from the north or US, or is it the Isle of Skye? Are you from the Isle of Barra, Egmont, from Orcana? Are you from the Rocky Waters or the Hebrides? Are you from the Isle of Arran, Rossi Island, Cura, Malaga? Are you from the Sound of Muller, could it be Tyree? Are you from Old Skerryvore, or is it the O'Manor Store? Are you from the Rocky Waters or the Hebrides? Oh, this is my island, oh, this is my island, from the port on Nice right through the Mission till the end of time. Oh, this is my island, oh, this is my island. We feed the sheep and cut the beef until the day we die.
Well, hey!
Fantastic.
The dog was having a wee dance there.
That's not a dog, that's a baby polar bear.
It's a baby polar bear. Not very old. But, no, Grace was looking after it and went there. I need to go to the loo. Look after the dog. So I got the dog. So that's it. So anyway, there we go. So that's amazing. Well, that's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. It's been absolutely brilliant having you on. Folks, remember, if you're wanting any info, the best place to go was the website that you saw there, www.peteandiezel.band, wasn't it? I think that was
That's right. The very one. Yeah, that's where you'll get everything on there, the merch, the tickets, and all the information,
And you'll find out, hopefully you can catch these guys live sometime. I hope to catch them. Maybe you might make it up to Shetland sometime. That would be rather good.
Hopefully that would be cracking.
You have to get Boyd to write a Shetland lyric in there somewhere.
You'll have to teach him first.
I saw Martin Gillespie getting a wee advert in the middle of your video there with the Skerryvore boys.
Yeah, we're good mates with the Scary Boys, and another great bunch of lads.
That's brilliant. That's good. Uli, thanks very much
No, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show.
It's been great.
Can't wait till we meet up in person and get a good crack some night. That'll be my.
Yeah.
And you might see Davie hanging about in Stornoway in a week's time because he's heading up that way. So.
Oh, I'll have to buy him a dram. Congratulations, Davie, as well.
Yeah. No, don't encourage him.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
All right, thanks very much.
Thanks very much, man. Take care.
All the best. All the best.
Cheers, all the best. Yeah.
Cheers. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Grace has come back, but I've now been left with the dog. This is Luna, folks, out there. That's not seen Luna before. Yeah. She's only 9 weeks old. New puppy, and that's her. So, listen, that was great, and the guys are great. It just shows you how someone can start from nothing, really, and just go mental. It's just the way it goes, and it's. But they've got great character about them.
Ali Meek's a big fan of theirs as well. Ali was supposed to be my best man at my wedding yesterday, but he's currently in isolation until tomorrow. I think he's counting down the hours.
All right. Okay.
The minutes, actually, probably more likely. But I dropped off a load of cake to him earlier on today, so he's probably on a sugar high. Well, the kids are anyway.
It's such a shame when things like that are happening because it's just there's nothing anybody can do about anything just now. Luna's the new star of the show. She's taken over. There we go. That's it. I can see Karen sitting through there going, "That's my wee dog." That's it. Listen,
it's not fantastic. Angus's wee dog.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic to see the boys being really positive about going back on the road and taking it for there. It's brilliant. I think we're getting to that stage now that people are saying, right, what can we do to make things work, rather than just nothing, And hopefully we'll get a wee sing-song and a bit of crack before long sometime. That'll be good. Anyway, we have an incredible guest coming on next. Would you like to introduce this young man?
We do. We have the immensely talented piano and accordion player who also is this year's Young Trad Musician of the Year winner, 2021. We have the one, the only Michael Biggins.
Hello, sir.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
How are you doing?
A bit more volume, please, Michael. It was fine earlier.
Is that any better there?
That's him.
That's better. Yeah, so that's perfect.
Sorry about that. My fault. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you guys?
No bother. How are you getting on?
Doing grand.
Well, you have had a rather big year, Michael, considering we've been in lockdowns and all sorts of things. To still win BBC Traditional Musician of the Year is quite an achievement. So congratulations on that one. That's brilliant.
Thanks very much. Cheers. It was a nice excuse to get out of the flat and play some music and stuff again. So to win it was a nice surprise on top of that.
Is that the one the fire alarms went off in the building in the middle of it or something?
It was, yeah. We were about the competition was about to start, and 5 minutes before before Bradley Parker was going to go on to play the pipes, we got evacuated, and it was quite obvious it wasn't a drill because there was smoke pluming from the top of the BBC building. And I think it was the power generator had set on fire, and maybe so did the backup one since it was next to the main one. Some stupid story like that. Just we couldn't make it up.
Trad on fire. Who said? Brilliant. So, listen, I thought what we would do, Michael, was maybe have a wee track to get us going here music-wise. And you're in various ensembles, etc., and playing and things. The first one I was looking at was a band that you're playing in called Trip. And is that Isla McAllister that's in Trip with you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I noticed she was on the show a little while back as well.
She was absolutely phenomenal musician, absolutely incredible player. And really, and Tom, her brother as well. Both Thomas is brilliant as well. They're just great people. And I thought so when the video came in tonight, and I was like, wait a minute, that's right. Well, I'm sure we've put on before. So tell me a wee bit about this set of tunes. Do you know a wee bit about this set? What is this set?
It's a set that a second tune is the Sweetheart Reels by John McSherry, and it's I can't remember off the top of my head what the first Amen Coins, I think the first one called. It's released. It was before the lockdown and stuff. It was the first single we sort of came up with as a band. Right. And that were Ross Saunders and Glowworm, and had it filmed in the conservatoire. And first thing we ever put out as a 6-piece as well, with Ali McKenzie on guitar. And
So could people buy this one online then? They could get it online.
You might be able to. I'm not sure. I should really do that. If it is online, be on Bandcamp, but yeah.
Let's have a listen. Here we go. Great tune. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, really, really good. Really, really nice arrangements there. It was fairly happening. Brilliant. Michael, tell us, you're residing in Glasgow now, but you're originally from Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle, like Gateshead, technically, just south of the river, but it's still call it, I guess. But, yeah.
So, what your introduction? I note from reading through your bio, etc., and you've studied classical music, but you've also studied obviously folk music to an extent. Was the folk music what came first?
It was always classical stuff that came first. My family had sort of no links to music in the first place, so the first choice for like finding a teacher and stuff when my parents found out I was kind of interested in the piano was a local teacher who sort of put me through classical grades and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. And so where did the accordion come along then?
That happened, so it's a really, really long story, but to try to sum it up, I used to have like second study lessons at this place in Gateshead on the tuba, because they needed a fat kid to play in the brass band, and I was the only one big enough to carry the thing. So, and beyond that, I ended up getting roped into like playing in a youth folk band as the classical kid to fill a quota they had to use, and got really quite sick of playing like 3 notes on the tuba the whole time. So I figured the most accessible trad instrument I could find looked like the accordion, because it just looked like a portable piano. So got a cheap eBay accordion that was about this big, and struggled with that for a few years before getting something better.
Yeah. So did you just kind of teach yourself accordion?
Yeah, I like bits and bobs of like watching what people were doing in sessions and that. I had a teacher for about a year in Newcastle called Nathan Armstrong, who was great. He got me all set up and stuff. And then since then, it's pretty much just been, just watching other people in sessions and stuff.
So what you're saying, Michael, is it's not that difficult to play piano accordion?
I can play one side of it. The other side is still a bit mystery.
That was a dig at me, Michael. Don't worry.
No.
But there's quite a big traditional scene in Newcastle as well, though, isn't there?
There is, yeah. There's a lot of Irish stuff going on. They've got the folk degree there as well, which is, there's a constant turnover of new people coming through the city playing music. So I was whilst I was in Newcastle, I was a bit too young to get to the sessions. I snuck into a few pubs when I was 17 and first got the car and that, but since then, never been to too many. But I do go back when I can and stuff and see everyone.
Yeah. So of course that was Chuck there. Great band. How long's Chuck been together now? We've been together for a wee while now.
Yeah, we were all in the Liberty halls for the RCS, like student halls together, and I think 4 out of 6 of us lived literally next door on the same floor, which is how it happened. And then a couple of folk lived like the floor below, and we all would just meet up for tunes in the sort of communal kitchen. So it was kind of a nice way for it to start. It was never deliberate; it just sort of happened by accident. But so we've been together, since first year of uni, which would be about 5 years ago now. So yeah, quite a while. Yeah,
it is. It's really good to see everybody together, like you coming for the Glasgow background, but still in the folk background, and it's this melting pot in Glasgow that we always talk about, and it's really good. It seems it's a nice scene just now that all these different angles coming into things. But do you find piano as well? I think piano is coming more and more into folk music all the time as well. I think it's
yeah. I think there's actually more piano players at the RCS than there are guitarists. Like accompaniment-wise, as the two most popular. And so I think there's actually more pianists on the course at the moment, and there's been a gradual change in the last few years.
So you've been working on a new album with Trip as well, have you?
I have, yeah. It's finished. It's about to be mastered, and I think we're still to decide a date on it coming out, but it's going to be next few months. It's not going to be too long now.
Okay. Cool. And I think what we'll do, the best way to steer people is to your website, your own website, Michael biggins.co.uk, and that way you can stick information on when any of the bands you're involved with, etc., bringing stuff out, and where it's available to folk, because I'm sure folk will be very, very interested.
Definitely keep that well updated.
Yeah. So, did you graduated? Was that just this year from the conservatoire?
Yeah. So I technically finished the year before, but the whole COVID stuff meant that I've got this little keyboard next to me, but it wasn't great for recording the classical recital on, so I opted to wait another 9 months or something, and just not do anything, and before I could go back in the building and use the decent piano in there again. But yeah, quite recently.
Really, really difficult situation that everybody's in. As you said, do recitals on an electric keyboard or something like that when it's not really your thing. But so many people have been stuck with this and at the mercy of the internet, and it's really difficult because you can't really tell enough about tonal qualities or anything sometimes when you're. It's difficult. Really, I wouldn't like to be the examiner. I think it'd be quite tough going.
Definitely, yeah. There was no regulation of what you could film the thing on either, so people were filming it on iPhone. I filmed it on an iPhone microphone, and it probably did me favors if anything else, because the quality was so low that a lot of mistakes that would have been oversighted.
Well, I think anyway, we've got one on you. You got an old upright track here. Tell us a wee bit about that one.
So this is just a really random collaboration that happened with an American fiddle player called Casey Dreesen, who I'd sort of heard of before I'd met him. He was quite famous on social media and YouTube and things for this like chopping technique he does. Tons of different stuff on there, and he turned up to a session that I was playing the keyboard at in the West End of the Macca on Great Western Road. And this guy came, and I thought I recognised him, but it had been years since I'd seen any of his videos. And then he sat down next to me and started talking, and I thought, well, he's got the right accent for it as well. I wonder if it is this guy. And then he sat down and started chopping on the fiddle, and I thought, quite clearly who I think it is. So it was quite a strange experience. This person you'd kind of watched a bunch of videos on the internet from America, all this sort of stuff, and then we ended up getting together. In the Airbnb he was staying at had an upright piano in it, so we went round, had a beer, and recorded a video. It was a lot of fun.
Cool, brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. Let's have a wee listen to this track. It's cracking. I was listening to it. Yeah.
That was a brilliant. You could just feel the vibe in the room. You know, and you could just feel it. They're playing together, just kind of going with it. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Just Casey had only learned that second tune then, so all those mad notes he played, they just were all completely improvised. It blew my mind. Amazing.
Yeah.
That second tune, was that second tune Angus Lyon and Rory's tune?
Was, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was. I remember having them on. Yeah. We took them a run about in Shetland once when they were up here. We went away and found a famous pony at one point in time up in Shetland called Socks. He made it onto television adverts and things, walking backwards and all sorts of things. So to go looking for Socks, they wanted to find Socks, the pony. So I think we did. I think we found it in there. But it's pretty cool. But it's fantastic playing. That's amazing piano playing. And I really like hearing the piano coming through because it's so versatile and it covers every span and it's just magic. And there's a girl across the Vaux from me here. I think she's studying in Derbyshire just now, Amy Lawrenson. Amy's, Amy, yeah, and Amy's great as well, great player as well. So it's really good. And it's nice to see it all going. I can see her house from here, even through the fog. So what have you been up to through lockdown, Michael? Have you been working on any projects? Or?
Yeah, I guess the whole Young Trad thing for me was a bit of a pull your finger out moment because after it happened, I was like, well, I've got nothing to promote or sell, really. So it was kind of, I've since then been working on a couple of things. So there's a Trip album that's been happening, the Canny Band album, which has just been finished recording as well. Some solo piano stuff that's been in the works, which at some point I'll try and get recorded. But beyond that, a couple of gigs starting to happen again. We played a little bit in a Fife recently, so we had an in-person gig recently, which felt really nice because it was just people again in the audience. Beyond that, bunch of teaching. Thankfully, less over Zoom now and more in person as well because it's the bane of a lot of people's lives. But yeah, that's about it. Really.
It was strange because last night I went out for the first time ever to actually just do another internet thing with a couple up the road, but it was the first time I put my accordion in the case for about a year and a half. It's just been sitting out in the house, and it was a weird feeling going out the door. Really strange feeling. You were like, what's good? Because I suppose I wasn't going to a live audience. I still knew I was going to another internet audience, but even doing that, it was quite unusual. It was quite an unusual feeling, So
really strange.
Yeah.
It's when you can't find your case. That's when the problems really start, Especially in Shetland. It's pouring with rain and you can't find your case somewhere, It's just a nightmare. but hopefully, you're getting things up and going before long again. And the band, as you said, we're going to hear a track for them as well. Yeah. I noticed you studied at Manchester as well. You were down there.
I did, yeah. It was like a normal school, I guess, but you were able to get music lessons in between your normal lessons. So you might have like biology, then you might have a piano lesson. So it was bizarre, but had a best part of 2 years there before I got kicked out for being naughty.
Okay. So, that was nothing to do with the biology, was it?
Playing
no. Because I played the accordion, that's what that was.
That was it. You were so.
All right.
But it's been fantastic having you on tonight. But listen, we have got a track as well for the Canny Band. And I was listening to this earlier and it's fantastic as well. You've got a nice variation of bands to play in, actually. You've got a nice different things going on.
Yeah. Accordion, piano, trying to keep myself interested in everything.
It's brilliant. And folk, check out your website, as I said, the best place to go for the first stop. What are we having here for the Canny Band?
I think you've got a set called Blind Harbour, which is one of the tracks that's going to be on the album that comes out, and it's two tunes. The first one's Blind Harbour by Dave Munley. The second one is a tune. It's maybe Walking on the Waves or Walking on the Water by an English box player called Julian Sutton, if I remember rightly. And then try to be clever with the arrangement, and it flies back into the first tree again.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll try to be clever. I'm sure it will be very clever. Here we go. Brilliant. Very, very good.
That we put on at the end as well with a face.
Very, very good. Yeah. Very excellent music. Michael, we can only wish you all the best for the future. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Remember, folks, to check out all the bands that Michael's in, jump on his website, www.michaelbiggins.co.uk. And I'm sure Michael will get back to you with any questions you've got. But thanks very much for giving up your time on Sunday night, and we still managed to go through this show and no tell end of the football scores, and we're going to do it, Davie. We will do it. That's our challenge for tonight.
But we're going to tell the score.
No, dinner. We're going to do that. Right. Okay. Michael, thanks very much, sir. Take care of yourself. Hopefully we'll get a tune someday. That'll be brilliant.
Cheers, yeah. Thanks again for having me on.
Cheers, Michael.
Take care, man. Cheers. Thanks, Steph. There we go. Fantastic. What an incredible musician that man is.
But the score.
No, you can't. There's maybe somebody somewhere in the world that's not heard about it recording it.
There's somebody that never heard about 1966 World Cup final as well.
There's not. They must live in Mars or something then. That's Oh, Grace got all excited because I mentioned Mars. What's that? A big thing to Mrs. Hunter. Yeah. Fiona, you're a star, and I hope he spoils you for the rest of the week. That's brilliant.
We'll see.
We'll see.
To be fair, I paid for the fish supper the night, so.
All right. Oh well, that's how courteous. What a gentleman! What a gentleman!
Last the big spender.
Pickled egg.
Oh no!
No.
Fred the Seagull was here as well.
Yeah. Fred was there. Yeah, we've got Fred here too.
It's not the same. Is it the same Fred?
I think it is. He was in Aberdeen, Angus reckoned at the weekend as well. So. Anyway, folks, thanks very much for joining us tonight. And well, that's us back up and running. We're on every Sunday night now again for a while. We've got great guests coming up, great shows, and I hope you can join us for them. We'll be back hopefully, and the Sundays anyway. I don't think we'll be back this Wednesday night because we're going to be kind of busy. No. So, but we'll announce the guests on Wednesday. We'll put them online. And hopefully you can join us next Sunday at 8 o'clock.
That's going to be good.
You guys go and enjoy the rest of your week. Congratulations. Brilliant to see you both looking so delightedly happy. Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You can also go and catch the last 50 minutes of this game.
Never even crossed my mind.
No, maybe it should.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. Right, you take care. Take care of you both of you. Thanks to Carden.
Ciao.
Thanks to Carden. Thanks to Carden backstage for. Thanks, Carden, for looking after everyone back there again, and thanks to Grace for looking after the dog. And I'm away to see what's happening right now. Right, you take care, guys, and we'll see you. We'll see you next week. Have fun. Cheers. Ciao. Cheers. Ciao.